koe te tui, he kete te kāka, e kuku te kiriru. Tūtahi rā e mihi atu ki a ranginui rawa ko papatūniku. Te whare e tū nei tēnā koe, ki te tūpuna maunga o maua tēnā koe, e mihi atu ki a rātou mā, ki a rātou mā te hunga kua whiturangitia. Haere koutou, haere koutou, haere koutou. Ki te taha o tō maua mama, ko iwa te papakainga o Sawai Mautere. Ki te taha o tō maua papa, ko a ai niwe te papakainga. Ko oponu i te mautere. No Hamoa, no Niue. Ko te moana nui a Kiwa, te moana. Ko te wai te ara tūhonohono i te moana nui a Kiwa. Ki tēnei wahi a tāhua o Tauranga moana. Ko Ama hau.
Ko Venna hau.
Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa.
Tālofa lava, ma role soifua maua, ma le langi e mama, whao tālofa atua. I'm gonna cry. Ile pa ia ma le mamaru o Aotearoa. O tau pa ia ma mamaru o le hale oho i ai se whamatalanga. Whawhetai tele mo le awanoa e whaasoa atu ai i lene aso tāhua. Alo inga. O mawaenga male ingolo usu o la mama toto. O maua tēne Samoa na tēne niue, nā mawhana nau maula e i Okilangi Nusila. O roku maua no nofo i Melbourne Australia. Tēne Samoa na tēne niue, nā mawhana nau maula e i Okilangi Nusila. O roku maua no nofo i Melbourne Australia. Whawhetai tele lava e sui o lene mawhatanga. Ai mai se a Rauwhiro Missionary o le Vala'aulia. Whawhetai e te ngata uma o loko whaatasi mai i lenei aso e whaasoa atu ai la ma ua tala. Tali tonu o le a maua se mea au ngā i la ma ua whaasoa. Whawhetai nā.
Now we are so honored to stand here, obviously a little bit nervous, but we're really proud to be here as international speakers on a panel with such an incredible lineup, and most importantly in front of a really good looking crowd. Thank you so much. We're here to share our journey and what it's like to be Pacifica woman in the beauty industry. Our story started almost a decade ago, but we can't start before we can't share our story before we acknowledge where we come from. This is our mum. Okay, our mum, she's Toyavata Hemana. She's from Iwa Sabai. She's fierce, she's fearless. Our dad from Niue. She is our mum, so unofficial maintenance man, driver, babysitter, everything that we ever needed. Sorry, getting really shy. No. But yes. Although both our parents are from Samoa, we did grow up in the early 90s and we're very humble about our girls. But since we have moved to Melbourne to start a family.
Having my family support me through business is really important because I have 4 kids. I need to know that they're being well looked after by people that really care about them. The main person that looks after them is my dad, poor dad. So when we grew up, he was always working, like crazy hours, and he never changed a nappy in his life. Like just like mum was always doing that. So, and now he's like doing it full time. I feel so bad. So he's got the hardest job out of all of us. Like, but he loves it. You just can't run a salon by yourself, and I just love that it's my sister. She always support me and have my back when I'm the same with her.
LashFix started in a modest home in St. Albans in Melbourne. With nothing but a $40 second-hand lash bag, but a shared dream. Back then, nothing matched. Everything was, oh my God, everything was second-hand in our room. But there was work, we had a big dream that one day we would be remembered as the Brown sisters who were brave enough to reach the limits. From these humble beginnings, we built a successful salon, a successful business, and not only thrived in a saturated market, but also empowered us to make meaningful impact on the lives of women in business. As our skills grew, so did our ambition. We made the decision to move from a home-based salon into a commercial space, not in the suburbs where we lived, where we were comfortable, but in an area where people had extra income to afford our services regularly. It makes sense. After all, our dream wasn't just about us. It was about creating opportunities for others, hiring a team, and ensuring that everyone had enough.
What started off meant to be a side hustle ended up being a full-time thing. Now I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's getting bigger and bigger. I don't know what to do now. Like, it's good and scary at the same time, but I can't go back. We always joked about leaving the home salon. We're like, well, if it doesn't work out, I don't care. Just start the shop and go back home. But I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not shutting the shop. For myself, I really need to stop thinking about what went wrong and like celebrate more of the highs. But it's also good because we've had a lot of girls come up to us and say, oh man, it's so cool to see you guys talk about the real and the raw stuff, like the stuff that actually happened. Because people look at us and think, oh man, they're living the dream life. But it's like, no, we're not. We've got bills coming out of our ears. But if you discipline yourself, you've got the right accountant, the right support, you'll be able to do it. When things are good at home, you live to run well. And you don't even forget about your family and who you're doing it for.
So that was our dream salon, the salon that we were dreaming about, even in our small bedroom with mismatched furniture, not really knowing when our next client was coming. When we made the move to Port Melbourne, which is equivalent to Remuera, St. Heliers, I don't know if you guys know where those areas are, where no one looked like us, or even seen people that look like us. We were met with questions like, oh, where are you guys from? We even had people actually look through our windows, our salon windows, wondering like, where the heck did these pics come from? And we would say, oh, we're from Samoan. And like, Samoa, where's that? They had no idea where we were from. And then when we say we're from New Zealand, they just assumed that we were Māori automatically because, yeah, we grew up in Aotearoa. On our first day, we were so nervous. To the point where we got in early, we got into the salon and I turned up the music and thought, like, let's just try and calm our nerves. And then all of a sudden, I hear a, and I was like, oh, what's that? And I turn around, and there was this man who was so pissed off outside our door. And I opened the door and I was like, oh. He was like, can you turn the music down? I'm next door and I can hear your music. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh, sorry. And then I stood there thinking, oh my God, what have we done? What are we doing here? Like, these people don't even like us. But yeah, it was a massage parlor, poor guy. The frames were rattling, but I just wasn't thinking about, I was just thinking about my nerves. It wasn't that loud, but I think the walls were thin. But anyway, he wasn't very happy with us on our first day. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a different welcome to what we were expecting. Now, one of the key factors that have contributed to our success is our ability to embrace our cultural identity. As Pacifica women, my sister and I have both faced our fair share of challenges and obstacles. Now, however, instead of shying away from our cultural identity, we chose to embrace it and celebrate it wholeheartedly. Now, even if we wanted to blend in, there was no way of hiding this big hair, this big nose, and this beautiful big body.
But on a serious note, before we opened our salon, we hired a mentor that helped us step into this new journey. She's a Pacifica woman who worked in corporate, and she knew the challenges that we were about to face. But yeah, opening up in Port Melbourne, we were so ambitious, but by the time we got there, we were like, oh my God, we didn't even think about having imposter syndrome and also having like staff to deal with and just having self-doubts, especially after that first day with a guy banging on our door. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not what I was expecting, and it was too late. We signed a 2-year lease and I was like, oh no, there's no going back.
Now, working off our mentor, we were reminded of who we are. We're strong, resilient Pacifica women. We didn't need to reinvent ourselves. What we needed to do was embrace who we were with confidence and pride. We were reminded of the richness of our culture and how beautiful that is. It's powerful, and most importantly, we're actually good at what we do. The people who walk through our doors will experience nothing that they had before. Our dream was to be known for something more than just another statistic or another musician, a singer, or athlete. Unfortunately, we don't possess any of those talents anyway. But what we did know is that Pacifica hospitality is second to none, and that's what we did. We served our clients the same way our parents served their guests in their home. The path to leadership is through service.
We wanted to be known for the salon that welcomed everyone in, no matter what they look like. I knew the feeling of walking into different salons and not feeling welcome, or I'd get people look at me like, are you lost? Are you looking for someone? And so that was the vision, that was the dream for our LashFix salon, that everyone that walked in, and a lot of them did walk in feeling shy, and they just stood by the door. But by the end of their appointment, they actually felt like they were one of us. They were like one of us, like they were our sister. So that was really important for us. And even with the staff, when we hired our staff, we had taught them to make sure that everyone that walks through the door, that you look up and acknowledge, even if you're busy. It only takes you like a couple of seconds just to look up, smile, and make someone feel welcome. So that was our mission in our salon.
Embracing our culture embracing our culture is not just about standing out, it's also about representation. I look around the room and I see so many beautiful brown faces, and that excites us, you know. We know how hard it is to put yourself in spaces like this, even though it is very welcoming. Thank you so much to the organizers. But me and Venna, we went to our first Lash conference 3-4 years ago, and the same feelings of imposter syndrome popped up, and I was like, oh my God, what are we doing here? There's so many amazing lash artists that have 5 salons, we have 1. But knowing what we know now, representation is so crucial. It provides individuals with a sense of belonging, validation, and empowerment. Seeing people who look like us, who have similar backgrounds as us, who have shared their experiences reflected in media, leadership, the beauty industry or society at large. It validates our existence and affirms our worth. When diverse voices and perspectives are represented, it fosters inclusivity, encourages empathy, and promotes understanding among different communities.
Representation challenges stereotypes, breaks down barriers, and inspires future generations to dream big and pursue their goals, knowing that their identities are not limitations but sources of strength. In essence, representation is also not about visibility, it's about equity, social justice, and creating a more inclusive and empathetic world for all.
We're so excited to have you guys here. As you guys know, we closed LashFix Beauty Bar end of last year to pursue our new dream. This is basically what it looks like in human form. So thank you so much for being a part of this.
Yes, we're always making excuses for ourselves of why we're actually not going for what we want and we're not grabbing it. And then from there, I was doing my side hustle with my business. Just take what skills you have and sell it.
We're going to show you how to make more money, add-ons, value adds, upsells.
And so I want to encourage you guys, whatever dreams that you have, don't push it aside. And then, even if you have like a dollar in your bank account, if you can see, you can visualize that dream.
Our passion is building women up, and that's why we've moved our business into business coaching and marketing. It's only been about 9 months, and although it was so scary to close the salon that we worked so hard to build, implemented all the amazing marketing techniques, the strategies that Charmaine mentioned, we knew our impact was greater than the salon was. What was LashFix Beauty Bar, which is now LashFix Powerhouse, we aim to be your sister in business. Our goal isn't to replicate who we are, but to help you uncover who you are. Create your own story, embrace your own culture, whatever that might look like, help you become confident in who you are in a saturated market.
So after a decade in business, here are our 3 top lessons we've learned as Pacifica women in business, in the beauty industry. Number 1, take control of your results. Yes, it is hard to be the only brown person in the room, or most inexperienced person in the room, or whatever insecurity you have. You cannot wait for someone to give you the opportunity. Choose to show up. Choose to put your best foot forward. It's one thing to identify a fear or to be aware of your surroundings, but you cannot wait for someone to save you. Just like being here. This is actually our first time speaking at a conference and shaking, but we have to do it. If we say we want to dream big and do big things, we have to be on the stage.
Second is to create your own story. Creating your own story is so crucial to standing out. When you are implementing the strategies that Charmaine mentioned, you want to have a story. You want to give people something special to connect you with. When we opened our salon, we were very naive. We had no marketing budget, not even $5 was going to help us. So we had to get creative. So while everyone else was stuck on sharing before and afters, we shared things like this. We shared our why, where we came from, what was important to us. This helped us build a deeper connection with our followers, who eventually converted into paying clients.
Number 3, learn to trust yourself. Not everyone will see your vision, so find the support that you need to get you there. Look for leaders who are where you want to be, and go and get the help.
So if you have listened to our story and you've whispered, oh my gosh, me too, or I so relate, I can feel that, then this message is for you. If you have big dreams, That's you, don't shy away, stay grounded, make moves. You have exactly what it takes. You are unique, and we believe in you. So as a special thank you, we are offering a free call to anyone who wants to discuss the goals, talk about what the next steps are. You can book yourself in. Again, it's free, and we'd love to just be there, cheer you on, be nosy, probably push you a bit too hard as well.
Does anyone have any questions?
How did you overcome that imposter syndrome?
I think just thinking back to the dream, the vision, I was thinking, oh my gosh, if we don't keep putting ourselves in uncomfortable positions, we're never going to grow. We're just going to stay the same. And we did have a mentor at the time. She reached out to us. We didn't even know why we needed one. We were like, oh, you want to help us? Okay, cool. But she came at the perfect time. We really needed her. So if you have anyone that you want to be coached or mentored by, like, it's so important that you do, because during sessions you bring up all this stuff, like why you feel the way that you do, and then just uncovers everything. Anyone else have any questions?